Hey guys, SFP here, and welcome to another episode of my FIFA 15 DC9 Career Mode, episode number 45. And this episode will be a little bit longer because we actually have 3 games today. We have 2 league games, and we also have the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup, which I am the current holder of, and so I'm hoping that I will be able to hold that title as well. And here we see the standings. I'm in 3rd place, which is pretty good, considering where I thought I'd be actually. And although we have, or the 2nd place team has 2 games in hand, I am fairly confident that we'll be able to overpass them. Anyways, guys, I also do apologize because I was supposed to upload this one in the following video yesterday, but as things happen in life, shit happens, and so I do apologize for that ahead of time, and I will be uploading these 2 videos momentarily, or I guess the next video momentarily as well. And we see here that the Montreal Impact has a fairly normal lineup, although I do not understand why Piatti's in the left midfield position. I'm not sure how frequently Montreal has used him in that position, but I think it's just a darn shame he should be in the center so he can create his magic. And here we see our own DCNA lineup, and it's the similar starting 11 that we usually have with Chris Rolfe here, but I'm also trying to get another striker, as we will see here momentarily in the video. And we see here, I don't know why they're focusing on Mina, but let's have this match going, guys. And here we see that we actually steal the ball here. Chris Rolfe has an opportunity. Nick De Leon passes it to Chris Rolfe. Longo takes a shot and it hits the post. And what a close opportunity that Longo had there, guys. That could have been the go-ahead goal, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be, as it was actually offside. So even had it gone in, it wouldn't have counted. And here now we see another counterattack with Eric Halsey. Halsey passes it to Longo. Longo's going to go by his lonesome. He's going to go, takes a shot, and what a soft touch, but it's enough to get past the goalkeeper. And that is 1-0, guys. We are in the lead. What a nice setup play there, Halsey to Longo. Longo kind of goes by his defender there. And that slide tackle was too weak. It was not unprofessional, guys, excuse me. It was just too obvious, I guess, and so I managed to squeak by there, and a nice soft touch, and that goes to show that strength isn't everything, guys. As long as you place the shot where you want it to be, there's a good chance of it going in. And now Montreal's going to start up here, and they're going to have their own opportunity with Nacho Piatti. Passes it to Eric Alexander. Alexander goes for the header. He connects with it, but does not get it on frame. And that was actually probably the closest call that Montreal has had this whole game at the moment. Anyways, here with their second attempt of the half. And Laurent Simon, the defender, passes it nicely, but my defender anticipates the pass. And that will be the end of the first half, guys. 1-0. 1-0 victory. That's what we're taking. 1-0 lead. And as we can see here, as always, we don't have much of the possession, but that doesn't matter because we still are very effective, I believe, in the counterattack. So that's all fine with me. And I'm going to change, take out Halsey, put in Natoche, put in my speedy right back, Madeira, as a right midfielder, kind of to stretch the field out there. And we'll see if we can keep this result. And so we quickly see that Montreal wants to get back in the game. And what a close shot there by Donadell. Unfortunately, just a little too wide to actually make any damage. And not to mention, I forgot I took out Boswell and put Mina in, because Boswell's getting up in age. And we see here that Chris Rolfe has a great opportunity. He's going to go for the shot. And a nice save there by the Montreal goalkeeper to keep that on. I thought that was number 2, guys. That should have been number 2. And that was a weird save, to be honest. Chris Rolfe could have celebrated what would have been a nice 2-goal lead. And they're taking out Piatti and putting Ambrose Oyongo in. And a header by none other than Steve Birnbaum. And I paused so awkwardly because I was trying to remember who scored the header, guys. And what a nice pass there by Velarde. And then Steve Birnbaum gets a nice glancing header, and the fact that the defender, the Montreal center back who's right there in the post, tries to go and block it and is unsuccessful, makes the shot just a lot more nicer, visually, I should say. And that makes it 2-0, guys. And this will probably be the last effort that the Montreal Impact have, and they're going for it. Rio Coker centers the ball, goes for Alexander again for the header, but nothing comes of it, and that's how the game is going to end, guys. A 2-0 victory, and that is a great way to start the video, guys. I'm very excited. I'm hoping I can keep this momentum up because, as you guys know, we are nearing the end of the season. I believe we're already in the 20th 24th, 25th game, and so there's actually only 34 games in a season. And we see here that Jalen Robinson actually wants to talk about his contract, and why not? I mean, it's kind of a shame, guys, that we haven't used him that too often, but we are very stacked in the center back position. So unfortunately, his time is limited, and that'll probably hinder his growth, to be honest. And so maybe had we had another season, I probably would have sent him out on loan. And as you see, we get a transfer offer for Hamid, and there is no way we're selling him, guys. So reject all other offers and future offers. But anyways, we're nearing towards the end of the season, actually, guys. We're already in mid-August, and the season tends to end late October, early November. So we're really in this prime position where we have to get the points necessary in this last run of games and cement our position as a playoff team. And here we are going to have the first game of the U.S. Open Cup, where again I should remind you guys that I won last time, although it was in a lower difficulty level. It was still pretty hard to achieve, actually, even though I did manage to get a clean sheet in every single game that I played in the U.S. Open Cup. But if you guys remember the first season, I actually got knocked out in the first round, thanks in part to FC Dallas. So this by no means signifies that this should be an easy victory, although I do wonder how my team will stack now, because in theory I should have a stronger team, but something tells me that I have actually gotten weaker as the seasons have progressed. I think that overall it's gotten weaker, but I think that I've strengthened in certain positions. I'm a particularly striker, because Longo is obviously an upgrade compared to Fabi Spindola and any other forward that I had previously. Eddie Johnson was fairly good, but he was a 68 rated, and he was slowly decreasing. And then any other players that I had at the striker position as well haven't been exactly the best option here. And we see that New York actually starts the ball here and gets a good opportunity by Sasha Kleshin, an opportunity that he should have actually punished us for, because that player of his caliber should have really had that in the back of the net. And maybe you guys would argue, had this been legendary, it definitely would have gone in, and I wouldn't have an argument against it. I'm pretty sure had it been legendary, we would have been down already 1-0, and unfortunately for us, he missed. And so that's how the first half's going to end, guys, 0-0. It's been a very tough half. As you can see, not many opportunities there, not clear-cut opportunities, but the only one who had the clear-cut opportunity is New York, so we have to change a couple things here. And here we see a foul on Chris Rolfe, and this will probably lead to a card, because typically when I edit these videos, if there's a card, I will typically have you guys see it. And Connor Lade is the one who's getting the yellow card here, and I think he's playing right back, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. He's if I'm not mistaken, he's a left-footed player. I don't know if any Red Bulls fans are watching. Let me know, but I think he's left-footed. So I guess in the game he's going for the switch here, but I would honestly prefer him as a left midfielder. And we see here showing how well I do my free kicks, guys. And obviously it wasn't pretty. I was trying to get it over the wall, and we see here another great opportunity by the New York Red Bulls with Lloyd Sam, who cannot again take advantage of that opportunity that he just got. And here we're going to have with Velarde, and pass it to Chris Rolfe. Chris Rolfe has it, He's gonna find someone open. He's gonna find a shot, I guess. And again, just like the other two shots that the Red Bulls have, this one though is slightly more dangerous. I think, especially by that angle, you can see that we were off by just a little bit, and Christoph is obviously unhappy about that. That could have been the 1-0 lead that we really need right now, guys. And here we see we're on the other end here with Felipe finding the ball to Vilches, and Vilches does header it, and it's going on goal, but luckily Bill Hamid puts a hand to it and puts a stop to it. And what a nice save there by Bill Hamid. Like I said, guys, he is not for sale. There's no way I'm selling Bill Hamid unless he wants to leave. Unless otherwise that's the case, I do not plan on selling him. And if you guys remember, he's actually one of my 3 players that I'm deciding to keep till they retire. And here we see Crystal finds Longo. Longo for the shot. He gets an extra step there, but luckily manages to catch the ball and put the ball in the back of the net past the goalkeeper. 1-0, guys, and I believe this is Longo's first goal in a long time because he's actually had a bit of a dry spell, and so it's good to see him get back on the scoring charts here. And speaking about Longo, I know it probably hasn't been that evident, but I think he's probably been the best pickup we've had so far. Because Mina has been a little bit disappointing. I haven't actually had an opportunity to play him in the starting 11 for too much because Birnbaum's actually done fairly well. So Madeira's probably another option, another team that player that I think has done fairly well. And here in the closing minutes of the game, guys, right when we had the victory, New York Red Bulls snatches it from us, and we're going into overtime. And my defense, I don't know what happened there, guys. They just went to bed, I guess. And a player of Bobby Boswell's caliber should have done better in that header. And right as I was counting the victory, we're getting pushed to overtime. And we see here that this will probably be the last play, and the whistle will sound fairly shortly here. A center that nothing came of. And that is the end of regulation time, guys. That is a 1-1-0 draw, and since this is a cup, we're going on to overtime, which also explains why this video is longer than it should be. We see here that we're fairly tied with shots on target, actually. This is the possession that never seems to go our way. And I'm going to put 3 crucial changes here. I'm going to put Madeira in. I'm going to put Michael Farfan in. And I'm going to put Atoche. And here we see the Red Bulls with a nice center ball there. And what a nice shot there by Felipe. A great idea, I should say, but the execution wasn't exactly the best that it could have been. And here we see Red Bulls again. It's just something similar to the first half where they're owning here. And here's where the blunder happens. Miscommunication between my defenders that leads to an opportune chance there for Lloyd Sam, and Lloyd Sam punishes us, and that is a 2-1 deficit that we have to overcome in these last few minutes of the game, guys, if we want to keep our hopes and dreams of continuing the U.S. Open Cup this year. And the crowd is very silent, guys. And I remember playing this in real time, and I was so frustrated because that should have been an easy save there, but for some reason my defenders just bump into each other, or I should say Chris Pontius and Taylor Kemp bump into each other, and they leave the ball wide open for Lloyd to just blast it through. And right as we were a few seconds from winning the game, and now we're a few seconds from losing it. And we see there a deflection that hits the post. And that was probably the best opportunity we had this first half of extra time. And now we're starting off with the next one here. And here as we see, this is the last few seconds here of the game. Passes it to Chris Rolfe. Chris Rolfe tries to get an opportunity. He goes for it. And this irritated me so much, guys. We were going for the counterattack. I could have sworn that Chris Rolfe could have made the run. And the ref calls it right when we're going for our counterattack. And I'm going to appeal this to FIFA Pro or something, because this is very irritating. We had, or at least I would have liked to imagine that we had an opportunity to tie it at the very end of the game, and the ref just takes the game away from us, guys. It's very frustrating. Anyways, you see here that we have a notice from Nicky D, and let's see what happens, because I know he was kind of deciding whether or not to stay, and he's decided to stay, guys, which is really good, because I'm going to need him. I don't think I have a uh, replacement right midfielder at the moment. I know Maleta has been very good for us. I guess I could put in Julian Green, who is technically higher rated. So I guess maybe having the or losing Nicky D wouldn't have been as crucial as I thought it would be. And here we're gonna have the last game of the video, guys, versus the Chicago Fire, who recently, actually yesterday, had a game against the. I'm trying to remember who they had a game against yesterday. I know they ended up losing, but they had a very great first half performance. And David Accam has shown time and time again how dangerous he can be in real life. And so I'm pretty sure I have to be wary of him in the actual game. Anyways, we're going to see here, I'm actually starting off my B team because I started my starters twice in a row, and maybe that's ultimately what did it for me, because there wasn't enough time in between the first game that we had today and then the U.S. Open Cup game, and so maybe fatigue set a little bit. Maybe that's why Bobby Boswell was a little bit or lost his concentration in the last few minutes of the game, because that tends to happen, guys. Fatigue in general, physical fatigue, I should say, in general, tends to lead to mental fatigue, and so you're trying to just finish the game here, and there's a mental lapse, and that shit happens. So unfortunately, it happened in the wrong opportunity. I wouldn't have mind having a tied game or having that happen in a regular game, but the fact that it was a cup game is what adds to the irritation here. Now we're going to put it back in play, guys. And we have here Arieta. Arieta, who also hasn't had too many shots on goal here, gets a nice, decent one, but nothing the goalkeeper has to worry about here. And I believe it's John Bush, which is very miraculous that he's still playing. He's probably like 40-something right now in age, at least in the game. Not in real life. In real life, he's probably in his late 30s, but he's getting close to it. And here we have a weird header that John Bush, again, takes care of very nicely there. And that could have been the second goal of the season for Steve Birnbaum there, but it was not to be. And Michael Farfan is going to have a second go at this corner kick. He takes it, and a shot by Chris Korb, and that would be the end of that, guys. And here we have the last few minutes of the half here. Harry Ship is going to have it, but the whistle is blown, and that will be the end of the first half, guys. 0-0 draw. Nothing too exciting, I guess. Again, we actually have 39% possession, so it's not something too noticeable. I'll probably stop mentioning that because it seems pretty evident that we're not the best at possession, but I'll probably mention it if for some reason we have more of the possession in the first half. But I think that tends to happen, guys, that I tend to go more for the counterattack in the first half, and then as the game goes on, I tend to keep the ball a little bit longer, a little more, and I try to be a little bit more decisive in my passes so as I don't lose the ball too often. And what a great goal there by, oh my god, I can't remember his name, number 17, the Mexican-American player. Can't remember my own player, guys. That's very embarrassing. Oh, Miguel Aguilar. That's his name. Miguel Aguilar, who has been a super sub last season, has been a little quieter this season, but what a nice driven shot there and a nice pass given to him and a nice assist by, I want to say, Jared Jeffrey or Colin Martin, probably. And this is it's actually his first goal this season. As you can see, guys, he was very prolific last season. He had a little bit of a bump for the first season, but it seems that his goal production has gone way down, and I obviously result that or equate that to the fact that we're playing at a harder level, and so his ratings aren't exactly the best, and so he's gonna have a difficult time trying to find the back of the net. And we see here a calm who I have praised, or it's not a calm actually, it's the other guy, Mbamanique, who has a great shot there, but it's just a little wide. And now Galles is going to put the ball back in play. And we see here the counterattack that we have here. Aguilar is going to find Luperto. Luperto's going to cut back. He's going to go for the shot. And what a weird shot, guys. I have scored some pretty ugly goals this season alone. And I think this one might take the cake. I think this one might be the winner. It might be the worst goal I've ever scored. There's not even a deflection, guys. I would understand if there was a deflection, but I don't see it. Let's see here. Oh, I guess there is a deflection. My bad, guys, but still, it's a pretty horrible goal. And the deflection doesn't even seem to be that significant, to be honest. I don't know why John Bush missed it. Maybe he's just getting up in age there, and his reflexes aren't as quick as they used to. But that should have been an easy save. But anyways, I don't care. I'll take it. And we see here that Keat is passing it. Sean Maloney, and Fiola. Fiola takes a shot and a deflection on our side of the field actually now, but it hasn't endangered the goal, and Galles takes care of it nicely and puts it out for a corner kick. And here we see the corner kick here. Passes, who gets to Keat. Keat doesn't do anything with it. And here in the last few minutes of the game, the Chicago Fire are trying to pull one back. And unfortunately for them, that's not going to happen, guys. And we get a 2-0 victory. A pretty good video overall, guys. I got 2 wins and a loss, you know. And then I was going for that perfect video at the moment. And unfortunately, it seems to elude me every single time, guys. I don't know what it is, but anyways, I'm hoping to keep up this momentum because, as I said, we're in the playoff push at the moment. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Make sure to tune in for the next one that's coming up momentarily, and follow me on Twitter at SFP Soccer Show. If you like the video, please give it a like, and feel free to subscribe if you like this content, guys. Until next time, see you all later.